Rex and Luke Skywalker sold separately. Batteries not included.
Yeah. Throwing it back, guys. What do you like, huh? What do you think about that, Ashley? You were surprised by that one?
Yes, I was. I was like, he's done screwed up.
No, I was just like, you know what? I want to try this. I want to count down into the real intro, That Toy Life.
You know, I like that song. I wish we could come up with like a, a cool like video to go with it where it's not just
a picture. I know.
Yeah.
That was one thing I was noticing. I'm like, yeah, that's going to have to be up there because it's like, wow.
I guess I could do some filming, playing with toys or something like that. That's what we all can do in our spare time is get out there, film yourself playing with your toys, and I can edit it all.
Do a video of you like being a scientist, like Step Brothers, like when they're trying to promote their prestige worldwide.
Yeah,
they're like scientists, but you're just playing with toys. So like, that's a good toy.
Yeah, it's just like the guys. Remember the inventors in the garages? Yeah. It's like they were working on computers, but no, we just had really cool things. Yeah, like with hammers.
Use a magnifying glass on a toy. Yeah, like, trying to look at it, or you got a hammer about to smash one. It's like,
see, you guys have awesome ideas.
I think these are all amazing ideas.
Send it to me.
I'm a wealth of ideas.
Toys. What about toy hauls, man? Because I've got a crazy haul this week. I didn't realize I was going to have as many toys as I have, but I do.
Well, I've got the least amount. So,
well, then, do you want to lead off then, Ashley?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I've got the least. Okay. So I headed to Augusta for car service last week. This is Friday, and I went to Top Dog, which is my favorite toy store around because it's so big and they have lots of everything.
I can vouch for that. That place is pretty awesome.
It is. And I picked up this classic Superman.
Ooh.
Oh wow.
The DC classic. Look at there.
Is this the one where he's just got the real good smile on him and everything? Yep.
That's happy Superman.
He's got to overbite a little bit. I will say, looking at his hands though, just in the package, his hands look ginormous compared to his rest of his body.
Right. I do like him though. I like that sculpt though. He does look really good.
Yeah. It's pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome. And so I was like, there was one figure that I still from McFarlane that I still wanted, couldn't find. So it was the last stop. I think I stopped at the Walmart on the way out of town, and lo and behold, I found Nightfall Batman.
That's awesome.
This is my favorite looking Batman. Absolutely my favorite looking Batman.
Wow, I'm sorry. Where did you say you found him again? Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart.
Nice.
I was very surprised.
I haven't seen him yet.
Really?
Mm-hmm, right. I hadn't seen him yet.
Well, I just got lucky. Normally I looked at eBay. He's going for about 40. So yeah, and I paid 20. Like $20.88, whatever it is, the total is, at Walmart. So yeah, pretty happy with those two guys. And that sums up my haul. Now I did go to Ollie's and I bought a few Black Series figures. I think I got like a 3PO, Grand Moff Tarkin, and a Sand Trooper.
Jawa?
No, Sand Person, Tusken Raider.
Oh, a Tusken Raider, gotcha.
Yeah,
they're
downstairs. Yeah.
I need to get one of those because it was the Archive series 3PO, right, with the silver leg.
Yeah,
I need to break down and get him because I've got a Force Awakens 3PO, and then I've got the 3PO from Rise of Skywalker with Babu Frick, and he's wearing the Chewie bandolier.
Yeah.
That's the ones I have, but I need to get just a regular 3PO to go because I have R2.
Well, my Ollie's is full of Black Series figures. I mean, just loaded down with Black Series figures. It's kind of
ours usually either had, or right now the last time we were there, which was a couple weeks back, they had about the stuff that they had around Christmas time, about the same ones, but it's mainly either it's some new archive or newer-ish archive series stuff like Tarkin. I think I'm gonna get the Tarkin sometime when I go by there again.
Yeah.
It's either Tarkin or some really old ones from like back in like the Force Awakens days.
Yeah.
So,
They're still here in Savannah. I will say, because you just reminded me, there's unless someone has finally broken down and bought it, there's a Walgreens somewhere here in Savannah that still has an original Black Series Finn from The Force Awakens.
God.
And he's just
He'll
still
never go away. That thing will never go away.
But I mean, I don't even think they've discounted him. He's still like 20-something bucks in there. Yeah.
Hasbro's holding out for that
They
buy.
are. They are.
Someone's gotta buy it.
There is. I told my
Someone.
wife, I'm like, one day I may just break down, and if we go in there, if we find it and nobody has bought that guy, I'm just gonna buy him, because that's pitiful that nobody bought Finn.
Well, you're talking about like when he had Poe's jacket, that figure.
Yeah,
Well,
that
Yeah,
Finn.
yeah,
That
but
Finn.
I like
original,
that
he's
but-
whatever. He's like number 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
You remember he was like the first numbers that came out when the Black Box series was coming out with those
yeah.
figures.
I would like that, but that was back in their bad, like
The
back in
bad
their
head
early
sculpt days.
If they were to redo that like an archive, I probably think about getting that, because I wouldn't mind.
They
if it
do
was
need
here.
to do that. Speaking of, they do need to archive that on top of, getting us the Crate Luke. But yeah.
Yeah, but I will say that Ollie's is having a sale right now. I think like all their Star Wars figures are $9.99.
Yeah.
All the Marvel figures are $9.99. I just saw the ad.
That's
earlier,
usually the
maybe
typical
earlier
price I
today.
see for him. Is usually
I was
Well,
going to
some
say
of
they
them
need
are
to
like
drop them to
12.
5.
yeah.
They do, honestly. If they want to move those, they need to go to $5.99.
They need to go to
$4.99, something like that.
I would do, because I need to go in there. There's figures I want that I don't even want the figures. I want the pieces to complete my Build-A-Figure sets. Like, I need the rest of the line from the Multiverse of Madness line, to finish he looks like a big
green
bull
bull
thing. Yeah. See, I love him. I've got most of him. I don't have his legs. He just has no legs. He needs
no
legs.
Bullman got no legs.
He got no legs. I mean, I need them.
Yeah.
So, like, I've thought about getting the last 2 figures to complete that. And I think there was another Build-A-Figure set that I have. It was like the Ultron looking figure. It's like
looks
like the Infinity. Was it? Was it like the Infinity Ultron or something?
Yeah,
like
from
that?
What If? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a villain that he would be a good multiverse. Like, he'd be a good Avengers villain, like for the main series, if they had ever made it to him.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I didn't realize that that was still there. That What If series. Huh.
Yeah, I don't. But they but speaking of, you had showed in your haul, you got some McFarlane figures. Ray, I'm pretty sure you got a McFarlane figure, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
you want
let's
to show yours first, or do you?
No, go ahead. We'll show them together. I was just
Okay,
thinking, since
all
we
right.
both got the same figure, this is an opportunity.
All
But
right.
yeah, we both.
Got the Batman versus Superman.
Heck yeah. This is an awesome figure, I have to say. And what's funny is I had it pre-ordered on Amazon, and right before, it was like a few days before mine was set to ship or anything, I found him at Target and got him cheaper at Target. So I just canceled my order and got this instead.
And here's an interesting thing, because I got out the Justice League Batman, so you can kind of see the slight differences in the face sculpting they did in the lower jaw. So you can kind of hang on, let me see if I can get it properly.
Here, let's get you soloed.
Yeah, can you? Oh God, I'm
Yeah, no,
struggling.
it looks good. Yeah.
I can't see the screen because the figures are in the way, so I can't tell if you can actually see.
Well, I can't see both. Now
Yeah.
we can see both of them.
Okay.
I don't know, man. The Justice League one looks a little better to me.
Yeah. It does. I will say it does. Like, they smoothed it a little bit, so it does look a little bit more like you can actually kind of see the Ben Affleck in it.
Yeah.
But I won't say it's bad though. I won't say it's a bad sculpt. It's just a little softer, I think, on the sculpting side. I mean, it doesn't look as bad as that. Obviously.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Yeah. But yeah, so
I did notice that his head looks a little small for that body. Just a little bit.
which one for
The
this?
new one. Yeah, it looks just a little small for the body. I think they would, if they'd have gone with just a slightly bigger head, it would have been a much better figure, in my opinion.
I'm pretty satisfied with it. I'm digging it. Like,
Yeah.
Or it could be the neck or something. I don't know.
I think it's the neck, because they did the neck slightly longer than it actually is in the movie. Because I think when they were designing the suit,
Mhm.
they did the neck shorter for that one, and I think they didn't even have the same costume designer for Justice League. I think they had.
Oh wow.
I think there's something that changed, and that's why his suit looks a little different. Like when he just wears the Batman suit, I don't think they had I don't think it was the same designer, and I don't think they had a copy of it from BVS for some reason. But anyways, so I got that. I'll stay with the McFarlane one for the moment. I went ahead and just got this because it was like $12 on Amazon, and I'm still riding that Dune high. So I got Duncan, Idaho.
No, Aquaman.
Yes.
And I gotta say, I think it's got a better face sculpt than the Aquaman for Jason Momoa. Which is bizarre. Bizarrely enough, like the face sculpt looks better.
It seems like in the new line, in the new Aquaman figures, there's some that look all right and then some that look weird. Yeah. And that face sculpt looks really good. He looks like a big, I mean, these are bigger figures, but yeah, man, that looks really good.
Yeah. It looks like it's the first Dune figure I've gotten. So, and then last, I finally finished up my Honor Among Thieves, got all the group. The last person I got Zinc.
Oh, okay. Did you get him at Ollie's or did you find him somewhere else?
No. I ended up having to order him.
I like his broadsword.
It looks great. Not the best figure. Mainly the worst thing about it is this. His feet are almost non-existently posable. Like you can maybe get a little bit of flexibility there, but you can't really do anything like any sidestepping, like angling the feet or anything like that. So he's pretty stuck in kind of doing standing poses. And even that's a bit of a struggle to figure out. But yeah, it's not a terrible. It's like the face sculpt's probably one of the strongest things about it. Like it's a really solid face sculpt they did.
Yeah, I like it. It looks really good. I mean, to me, it's a great looking figure, but I could see what you mean. Stiff. It's almost like a statue more than it is a figure.
Yeah. A little unfortunate, but so I finished off that group. He sits up there normally, but right now he's down here with the Halls, and that's me. Well, so what about you, Austin? What you got?
Oh man, let me see. So I showed off Batman. I was excited about him until I actually crushed our dreams on that one.
Oh, the neck's too long.
I don't care. Anyway, no. So let's see. First off, I found this. I don't buy many Hot Wheels cars, but I actually stumbled across and finally found a Batman and Robin Batmobile Hot Wheels. So I was totally, I thought you'd probably appreciate that, right? Because I'm like, I like this Batmobile. I mean, it was kind of an underrated Batmobile. It's kind of reminiscent of them. They went back to the like the 60s style, where it was the convertible Batmobile.
It's the least practical for someone who's going to go into fighting crooks.
Very.
You get one sniper, and Batman's done.
This is Met Gala Batman. This is where he's rolling up to the red carpet and waving at everybody. But
the Batman where he has a bat car.
Pretty much, yeah. So it's like
don't leave home without it.
I really, oh my God. But no, I was just happy to find this because I'm hoping that Hot Wheels will put out the bigger version soon, because the only Batman and Robin vehicles they have out right now is just the Batwing or whatever you call it. It's like the Bat Cycle, I think is what they called it. But it's the motorcycle that you see for a few seconds at the end of the movie. It's not even Robin's motorcycle. They should have put that one out. But anyway, hopefully they'll put another, because this has been out before, so hopefully it'll be re-released in the new line that they've been putting out.
Yeah, I think that's kind of evergreen because they just keep rotating through those Batmobiles.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Backs. Yeah.
And so I got that, and then also at my local Target, I finally broke down. I was kind of able to nudge them to kind of drop the price on it a little bit because the box was damaged. But I finally broke down and got this McFarlane Movie Maniacs Wicked Witch of the West figure.
Oh,
if you're a fan, I've just been since I was a child, I've loved the Wizard of Oz, and to me this was probably one of my original villains. One of the first characters that scared me half to death as a kid, because this is pure evil. I mean, you see her when she erupts from the fire and then disappears back into it. Haunted me when I was a kid. But I loved it. I loved how she scared the bejesus out of me. And I just loved her costume design. Always looked really cool. I loved the big flooped over broom she had, I always loved that. I mean, and this figure is pretty well done. I mean, I don't know if I can really show you that well, but sorry, trying to see if I can help out at all, but
there you go.
Yeah, there you go. So
that looks good.
So she's actually got a pretty good face sculpt and everything, and the body and the detailing's good. It's pretty much a stiff figure except for the cape. The cape is like the rubber Yeah. Yo, damn dog here. But yeah, she I was impressed with the sculpt, and like I said, the cape is that same rubber material like some of the Batman figures or the DC figures are in. And then she's I'm assuming she's molded into this. I haven't tried to remove it, but this is like the Yellow Brick Road base. And what's really cool is it came with this backdrop that you keep, and it's like a really hard. I thought this was going to be just like flimsy cardboard. It's almost like encased in like glossy plastic or something, but it's still cardboard. But it came with a top and bottom stand, to stabilize it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really cool. You get this big card back to go behind her, so she can.
Now
she can
put her
set
there.
up
Take some pics for your Instagram.
For sure. But no, it's like really cool. And another neat little all right. So I knew this was going to come with it. So looks like these Movie Maniacs. They come with these little, not really metal. I think this is actually plastic, but it kind of looks like metal.
Yeah, it's got a sheen
But it's got
on
these cool. It's got these cool stands that I kind of wish some of these other figures came with, because you could get this, and then you just drop your card into it, and it holds your card. And I thought that was really neat.
Yeah, certain DC multiverse ones just
they do?
like certain ones. Like the only one I have that came with one was the King Shark Mega figure.
Oh, okay.
That came with like a little stand that you could set the card in.
That's really cool. And another cool thing was there was this like little box with all these question marks on it, and I didn't know what that was. When you open it up, it actually had this big, thick poster. I mean, this is like real thick laminate, but it's like a classic Wizard of Oz poster. So I was impressed.
You go, McFarlane.
Exactly.
Wow.
And I mean, the price point on this originally was $24.99, and I got it cheaper. But then another thing that Target's been doing is they've knocked their the Marvel Legends figures down to $14.99. So I've been running in there and trying to find stuff that I don't have, and finally was able to get Captain. Got my Captain.
Got your Winter Soldier Captain.
Yeah.
Yep. This was my favorite. This was my most favorite suit. I still want to. I mean, I want to get other ones sometime. I don't know, I'm not having a good trial at this right now, but anyway, I want to get other Cap suits or whatever. But I wouldn't mind getting another Shield at some point. But I love this, man. It's got like the darker shaded Shield. There's no red in it. It's kind of like a darker gray. But
yeah, the Captain Carter figure I got is like the Winter Soldier version of her outfit,
right? Okay.
Yeah, like if you seen if you ever see it, like they just basically did like a version of that, but for her.
Okay.
So they took away the kind of the Union Jacket. They had this kind of just blue and dark colors for like the stealth missions. Really looks awesome.
Sweet. Yeah, I was gonna say, but I was impressed with this figure. I mean, he's the face sculpt. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can get it to.
That comes with an alternate head, doesn't it?
No, just him. Oh yeah, it does it. I'm sorry, I did not.
Steve.
I didn't pull it out. I've got like a whole box. I've organized on. If you see it, actually, right there. Whoop, you can look right. I'm gonna touch it.
It's a Hasbro couldn't decide what to do about.
See that right there?
Box.
Yeah.
That is gonna hold all my NECA and Marvel, all my toy accessories until I get a bigger box. So, yeah, great Cap figure. And then today, I was actually able to get Iron Spider.
Oh man, that's great.
Spider-Man.
And yep, Spider-Man in his iron suit, which this is like I think my number one favorite is the Stark suit. Number two is definitely the iron suit.
I did see.
Because I wasn't seeing that coming whenever they did this in the movie, and I was like, "This is." My only thing is, I wish that he had an alternate head with blue eyes. That it looks like they're lit up.
Oh yeah. Well, also
really cool.
I did, because you sent me that link that was on, I think it was a Reddit page about it, and I did notice one of the complaints a lot of people had was, why didn't he come with his retractable legs?
Exactly. And I think if you look on the back, I think this figure's probably got a hole for that, because my other Spidey figure doesn't have anything like that. So I'm assuming that maybe that was supposed to be for those. So maybe I can try to finagle some way, like maybe there's a used version on eBay or something I can get just for the claws or something to go with him. But I'm not that hung up on it. The claws were okay, but I just love the suit. And I love the webbing because what I did was it comes with 2 different pieces of webbing. This is the more oblong version. There's another one that comes with it that's a little more circular. I took this one and I'm going to lay it kind of on the glider to have some effect. But the other one, what I did was I've got it in Doc's claw, like Spidey, like spit some web at him, try to
web one of the claws,
web him up a little bit, just one of the claws. So it was one of the ones that actually closed so that I can manipulate it and hold the web. It looks really cool. I'll have to send you some photos. But that was one of the big draws, was I really wanted some webbing. I wish I can get the long webbing, so I can make it look like Spidey's shooting the web and stuff. But maybe I'll find that in another figure sometime. But yeah, dude, so happy. I mean, there's really not much to this. I know there's like I said, I wish there was a separate head for the blue eyes or something like that. I feel like that would have been a good idea. It would have been nice to have the extra legs, but that's fine too. I'm not that mad about it.
Well, it looks like for that little wave that they did, like these just 2 little MCU figures. That's basically all that they're going to be doing in terms of the MCU releases for this year.
Mm-hmm.
They did seem like very bare bones in terms of what they were offering with them. It's just like a ways like, let's just get these out, but we don't have to spend too terribly much on them.
Yeah,
which, it isn't a bad thing because it is figures that people have been wanting, but they really scaled them down, I guess, to get them out at an easier, I guess, price point for them in making it, because they've already had it's like isn't it like the Mark 85, I think was one of them.
Yeah, I remember the Civil War. You're talking about the Iron Man suit, right? Because they had the Civil War Iron Man suit
that was from the
silver.
Yeah, well, there's the Civil War Iron Man suit, but that was from the Infinity Saga way from last year.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but now they've released a new one, right? That doesn't even have a Stark head. Is that what you were telling me?
Yeah.
So it's like they're scaling them down. It seems like they're trying to,
or at least for
find
this
ways
just
to cut corners.
Yeah, at least for I guess for this year, like at least give people something they want, but also like, make it not cost too much because we're not selling everything so well.
Yeah, I don't know though. My only thing is I like the price point, but I really wish they would have stayed at $19.99 instead of trying to do the $24.99 for these. I mean, I just hate to say it. I love this Spider-Man figure, but for example, this to me, with everything that was included, this is just not worth $24 for this little piece of plastic. But if you set him at $20 at $19.99, it just, even though to me still it's kind of high, but whatever. I mean, look, that's a better price point, and I just feel like it's worth it. And I think that's, to be honest, maybe that's just me, but I feel like that's part of the reason why some of these probably don't sell that well is, just sometimes the price points are too high. If they would at least just these re-releases at least price them at $19.99, I could see them maybe when they first come out, if they're bigger sets, $24.99, re-releases are $19. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
It's like you've already made money off of it. Why?
Right. This is just your go back array. This is like your victory lap. Now you're just scooping up more money.
So before we continue, let's go see what people got in the chat here, because a lot of people are talking about what they got. Scott Knight said she got Captain Carter he said he got Captain Carter at Ollie's. She's pretty fun.
Yeah. I was going to say, I've seen that Captain Carter. I've thought about getting that figure. Next time I'm at Ollie's, that may be something I grab if they've still got her.
Northern Nomad said, I just got him too. He's a bit short in scale, height. I'm assuming he's talking about the Batman that both of y'all got.
Yeah. Probably so.
So let's see here. Joe Fan 84 says also got the Ariel E frame from Exo Squad today too. That's a line a lot of people don't talk about as much as the Exo Squad stuff.
And I've seen it, and they do look good. I just don't know much about them. Another thing I don't know much about, the Owl Man that Scott Knight's pointing out. Tell me, I thought that was from Watchmen. Is that not who? Correct me, because my brain is all twisted up. I've seen that figure and I love it. I just was like, who is this?
Oh God, no. I think the name of the character in in Watchmen is in a Night Owl.
Yeah, I think
Is it Night Owl or Owl?
Night Owl.
That's where I was
So,
like, I couldn't remember.
Yeah. Owlman is a variant of Batman from the Injustice League.
Okay.
Well, like the evil version of the Justice League. So and it's different versions like of what he is in terms of like, because it's a variant, so there could be a different version of how this person came to be. So I think what's the new 52 one? And someone named Lincoln March, like he was like Bruce Wayne's long lost brother or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's been a while since I've
it could be different things. Like I haven't read too much in terms of stories with the Justice League or the Crime Syndicate. He's Crime Syndicate. I don't know why. Injustice League.
I'm just not a big fan of the Crime Syndicate. So
although I did love their use in Forever Evil.
Yeah,
like that was one story that I really enjoyed, but that's me.
So Northern Nomad said yes, talking about Batman.
Yeah.
Batman.
Yep.
And then going back to what we were talking about earlier, he said some collectors getting priced out of the hobby, and I will agree.
I agree too. That's why I've been on these deals. Like Target's been really good about doing deals because if they're not marking down their toys, a lot of times they'll have discount or like specials where if you buy so much. Like right now, I think it's if you spend $40.
Yeah.
I think it's 40. You get 5 back. Like it's you save 5. But so I mean it's not bad. It's made me think about getting some stuff, but at the same time. NECA, for example, NECA needs to chill out because good God, I mean, base prices for a lot of their figures now are $36, and I'm like $36.
Yeah.
Granted, though, they are really well-made figures for the most part, but
still, man. I mean, it's. I know everything is ridiculous right now, and not just toys, but action figure market is just it's ridiculous, and they keep putting out so much. Everybody puts out an action figure now, and they all look cool, but at $24.99. I mean, well, it was $18, then it went up 20, then it's 22, now it's 24. Some of the Marvel Legends have gone up to 27 for regular releases just because they include an extra couple of accessories. I mean, I know McFarlane is doing decent. I mean, he's still like this Batman was 20, right?
Yeah.
And that's the base price. He comes with a couple of hands and a batarang, and I'll say, hey, that's a pretty good deal, but you don't get it. There's still a little bit left to be desired. The paint job is not that great. I mean, they might paint the head pretty good, but everything there's no paint washes or anything like that on there. But I guess he's saying, no, you can do that if you want to, if you're good with that. I don't know.
He can just send you the gray version of it for you to paint all of it yourself.
Right, and the little
he does that sometimes.
Yeah, it's like those little plastic things. It's like all the little colors, the different colors.
Yeah,
they used to. There's a little paint by the numbers thing you can get. But it's like paint your own figures.
Mm-mm-mm.
The number 3 color right here in this little.
I will say though, probably with McFarlane, the price point makes it a little easier to stomach some of the the corners cut and things like that. But at the same time, I just feel like overall, the toy price, like I guess like the price, what would you say, like their averages are just getting too high. Like I feel like they just want so much for so little.
Yeah.
The new Ghostbusters isn't really all that bad. I was just looking at their prices, like the figures are only $10.
But you're talking about a different class of figure too, though. I mean,
that's true. And these are more of a young kid too. Yeah. I'm surprised. I wonder if when the movie comes out next week, if they're gonna if they'll drop Plasma Series versions of any of this stuff. I haven't heard of anything coming down the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I had heard something about that. Maybe
had you? Okay, I hope so.
I mean, I
heard of all the other stuff, but I didn't see any Plasma Series figures. But maybe they were just holding that close to the
I was assuming that they would, because there's a kind of a different look to some of the characters for the new movie. Like they have the little red suit, red cold suit variant and stuff.
Yeah, and plus I can totally see, which I don't know, he may just be his own figure, but I can see them doing the new villain Garaka, seeing him as either a Build-A-Figure or just his own big deluxe figure, because he's supposed to be super tall and then the big horns. That is a figure that's going to look great for fans. I'll bet if it ends up being like a cool character and stuff like that. No
Yeah.
pun intended. I feel like he'll at least visually he looks amazing so far. Do you know what I'm talking about? Ashley, have you seen any of the
I've seen the
previews?
trailer. Yeah, I've seen the trailer.
Wow.
I just want him to. I want him to speak in ice puns with an Austrian accent throughout it. What killed the dinosaurs?
It's all it is just
Ice
Clips from
Age.
Batman and Robin. They just repurpose them into the movie, and they like process it a little bit, make it sound a little bit different. But no, man. That speaking of though, movies coming up. Are y'all excited for anything coming up?
Well, we did see something that was. We did all see something that was very big that just recently.
That's true. That's true. I heard that because I saw Dune. Dune
harder. Dune
part Dune.
Dune ta part Dune harder, aka the rise of Muad'Dib.
Yeah.
the Al Gaib. According to Stilgar, the best thing since sliced bread.
Very much. Like
I would say that was one highlight for me that I was not expecting, was such a little bit of like levity, because it's such a serious like storyline, very serious. And I get it. I mean, it needs to be a serious storyline for like the subject matter that covers. But I was relieved and impressed with the amount of levity. From Javier Bardem as Stilgar. Just like the moment that made me I almost busted out laughing in the theater was the moment where Paul was trying to convince them that he's not trying to, basically assimilate himself and take over or something like that. He's basically saying like, I'm just trying to be one of you, I'm just trying to help you. I'm not trying to, I'm not trying to encroach on you or, demand you help me or anything like that. I just want to help. And then all of a sudden you just switch over to see Stilgar talking to his people. It's like, he's humble. That's what Nissan Al-Gaib would be. He would be humble and modest. It has to be him.
I was surprised. I was surprised at how enjoyable he was as that character and watching. Yeah, I mean, he brought a lightness and he brought the comedy element to it for sure.
Without making it too out there. It was like very believable little humor moments.
Yeah. It was also too, to me, it felt like his character in a way was there to say, or like it was there to say that, not lighten up, but he was almost just like, hey, like there's something bigger than us, man. Like he just would always, he was there to be like,
he's the believer.
Snap out of it. And he was this, and he just, I really loved that character. I never expected that come out of that character that way. Now I will say Lady Jessica's character I was a little weirded with, because it was almost like they just dove in with her and like, here, drink this, do this, do that. And I'm like, well, it was kind of like that in the book. I mean, she pretty much knew her place, and she, I mean, so I felt like she got shortchanged a lot, where they just kind of mowed through her stuff a lot. But
I will say some of the stuff they did with her was pretty fun and clever with the writing. Like one thing I liked was sometimes you would see her.
Joe fan.
Yep. You would see her having a conversation with Alia, I think it's the baby's name. Like while it's in the wind, because of what happened, drinking the waters of life, has like basically instilled all knowledge of history of the universe from all the previous Reverend Mothers, has instilled that knowledge into this baby. So this baby's going to be born like a genius.
Pretty much.
So basically, it's already smart enough to telepathically communicate with its mother. So she's having these little conversations with it. And I love there was one part. It was the scene where you're seeing how the waters of life are made. They bring in the little baby sandworm, and then they do the little thing, kill it. And anyways, when it's just about to start, there's a moment where she just says hush, because the baby was trying to ask her something, and she's like, and it's just like it's supposed to be kind of like, it almost felt like a quick little moment of levity too. Also, because she said it in that way, like you're telling a kid, like, you're talking too much.
Yeah. So here's something I guess I didn't understand, and and if you haven't seen Dune 2, spoiler alert, because I'm gonna spoil it
if you can understand it.
I haven't read the books. But I didn't realize going into the very first one, and obviously after seeing this one, that Timothy Chalamet, what's his name, Paul?
Yeah, Paul Atreides.
Atreides. AKA Paul
not,
Muad'Dib Usur.
Yeah, is not the main character, I don't think.
He is, and he is. It's
because it seems like his little sister is going to be the main character.
No. Like she plays a big part in the storyline going forward. But
okay,
but she's no. So
he's turned into like Darth Vader or some crap at the end of this movie.
Yeah, because that's the great thing about the end of it, because Frank Herbert made the story, like he created the story in I want to say, because he was a pretty conservative person, so I want to say at the time it was written, I think he was writing it kind of as a little thing about, like, in a way, like an allegory of John F. Kennedy before he got assassinated.
Oh, really?
I think it was supposed to be, because the idea was like, don't put all your faith in these charismatic leaders. You can't do that, because in his mind, corruption, it can take anybody, if they give into it.
Gotcha.
And that's kind of what happens with Paul. And I did like how they explored it in that movie. Was I did love the back and forth he had. Was I can't go down there because I know if I go to the South, I'm going to start a holy war that's going to kill billions of people. I've seen this in my, I've seen these visions. Yeah. I can't do that. And then the universe just keeps kind of doing these things and force his head. And he's like, well, fine. You want me to do this? Fine. I'm going to go do it. And then he just leans all the way into it, which is great. I can't wait to see how Denis does, because he's writing the next one, Dune Messiah, which is a much shorter book. So I think he can tell the story in one go.
One movie. Well, but I was just mad because he just totally dropped Zendaya.
Well, it's more since Zendaya dropped him, because so there was a big difference in how the story played out in the movie compared with the book.
I was going to say this is the biggest change from the book.
Oh, and so what happens?
The movie, I was going to say, before you start, Ray, I was going to say the movies, even the first part's pretty faithful to the book throughout. They don't really change anything up until in the second movie toward and that's when they start reshaping it a little bit. Yeah.
And they do leave some things out, but I think there's some things that, like, I think David Lynch included in his version of it that they didn't really like. I don't think Denis tried to touch on, because I think he's in the weirder realm where I think he's still trying to figure out how he wants to introduce it, which I think one thing would be the Guild Navigators, which is a really weird thing to see. But anyways, where was I at about this? About this third movie? Zendaya. Yeah. So in the books, after the fight and everything, he takes over as emperor. What he does with Irulan, he does say that he's going to marry her, but it's in that style of, it's a political marriage. There's nothing, there's no love involved in it. It's only done for political purposes. And to him, Chani was going to be his beloved, his concubine, and basically, it does kind of make her feel a little bit like an object.
Yeah,
because she's just like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be the beloved of this, new god.
But that's what Lady Jessica wasn't she?
She didn't marry Leto.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, they were in love, but she never married him. We're getting
what? They weren't married?
No.
I was gonna say they weren't.
One of his Dameron and that girl weren't married.
If you go back and watch it, his last line to her, the last line he says to her in the film was like, they were lying in the bed together, and he says, "I should have married you," because he knew what was coming. Like the whole thing of number one, like the first one, is when he gets the offer or he gets the demand, the request to take Araxis from the Harkonnens, take over for them.
Yeah.
If you watch him, because this is great, like layers upon layers. Like, remember the line? There's a big line in part 2, plans within plans, and that's a big thing that's throughout Dune, is this idea of like, everything's a plan within a plan, and layers of plans almost. Yeah. So when he gets that request, he knows that there's something bad happening. He knows that there's trouble on the horizon with the Harkonnens, and he knows that there's a trap coming. The only problem was he thought he had more time. He thought he had time to get the Fremen on his side, and basically he would have Fremen backup for when the Harkonnens came. But they came too quick, and he didn't have time to counter it. And I think, like, when he had that scene with Jessica where he says that to her, like, "I should have married you," I think he realized he didn't have enough time anymore, and I think he knew that any day now they were going to be coming for him somehow.
Yeah.
But in the book, he basically just makes Zendaya his concubine, his beloved that he would have children with. But in the movie, I think Denis wanted to do it in a way that, because he gave Chani a lot more character in this movie than I think she did in like at least any of the other series or the books.
Yeah,
I don't know how much character she had in the book compared with this, other than like she was very much Paul's like almost right hand person. Like she would kill anybody that tried to come, try to get in Paul's way, or she'd be willing to. But I liked that they did this kind of idea of she sees what he's becoming, because it helps nail home to the audience that, this is not bad. I mean, or this is not good that he's this emperor now. So
okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
I mean, I love his last line. I mean, do you remember the last line of the movie that he tells to Gurney Halleck, Josh Brolin's character?
No.
Okay, I believe it's the last line, but he told all the houses that he's the new emperor, and then they get a communication from them saying like, no, they don't accept your sentence to emperor. You're not accepted. He says, take them to paradise. That's basically, I think it's like
destroy him.
Yeah, it's basically, it's kind of like echoing kind of some of the Middle Eastern religion stuff with like, paradise is the afterlife. Yeah, and that's similar with the Fremen. So, but he's basically like, send them to the afterlife, or burn them. So he's starting a holy war.
And
interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the cool thing I really like about Dune is all that, the intricacies and all that, the family politics and all that kind of stuff that
Before
goes on.
Game of Thrones, it predated Game of Thrones by a couple decades.
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't realize it was like that, and it's insane. But what did y'all think of the other characters? Again, Stellan Skarsgård was great as the Baron. I mean, but they really didn't have as much of him as I thought they would.
No, he did. Yeah. Well, I mean, did you ever hear how much like time he had to spend doing makeup? I think it was like 8 hours.
I could only imagine.
Yeah.
I liked what's his name? What was the dude's name?
Oh, you're talking about Fade Routha. Are you talking about him?
Yeah. Well,
Austin Butler.
Austin Butler. Yeah. He was pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was telling Ray about this before. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh no! You go ahead. I was just going to say, like we had talked before about how the planet looks. The Giedi Prime, the black and white aesthetic of the planet. Because
I was going to say that was really good.
I mean, I don't know if you caught on to that. Did you catch that it wasn't like some artistic choice of like it just looking black and white? It was like it was showing that literally the light from their black sun when it shot, it makes the planet black and white. You can only see color. So they did little subtle ways of showing how that it was color. It's just you're not seeing it with that sunlight. Because there's like little subtle moments like when he's looking at the crowd through his binoculars. I think the Baron is. You see like a little purple symbol at the bottom, even though he's looking at black and white stuff. Or like whenever they're inside, there's regular color.
So where is the flying pig with the giant brain head?
Are you talking about the Guild Navigator? I think that's what you're talking. That sounds like the Guild Navigator, and that's
the original Dune movie.
Are you talking about, yeah. I think you're talking about the Guild Navigator. I think that's one of the weirder elements that I think Denis probably didn't want to touch on yet until he figured out how he really wanted to do it. I think it was one of those easy things because it wasn't an integral part of the story. So I figured it's like we can leave that for another day. We hit that down the road when it's actually more necessary to the story.
Yeah.
Because in the book, Alia was even born in the story because of how long the war took. Because it took like 2 to 3 years, I believe, from when Paul, joined the Fremen. But in the movie, basically takes place within 9 months because she never has the baby.
Yeah. But I was going to say I was impressed with everybody. I mean, for the most part, Austin Butler was the iffy one for me. I'm like, he's coming off of like the Elvis thing, and he's people have talked about everybody's seen the criticisms, but when he first started, I was scared. I heard the voice, and I'm like, oh man, And then when he started really morphing the character, really showing himself, I was pleased. I'm like, okay, because he basically started doing Stellan Skarsgård. He was just doing his his Baron character, but even more unhinged, where he would just sometimes have like he'd just be in pain or just have a twitch or whatever.
Yeah,
I loved that. He was crazy. The fight with him and Paul at the end was great. Christopher Walken as the Emperor was a chef's kiss. Come on, it's good.
I would say even that for me, that was actually one of the weak parts. I felt like,
really?
which was weird because I think out of everybody who really felt like they were inhabiting the character, for me, it felt like Christopher Walken was just kind of walking around
walking around.
It's just like, it's me, Christopher Walken. I'm saying some lines.
It's hard to separate him.
It's hard to separate
from his character.
Yeah.
But I felt like in my, I guess the way I was seeing it, he was just perfect as that character because it was just, it's like this person who walks around that knows that there's something way bigger. And how Christopher Walken is like, I know what Christopher Walken is. Everybody does impressions and stuff. So it's almost like he was able to kind of take that into the Emperor. And he's just this, I mean, to me, he just looked unsettling. When I looked in his eyes, he just seemed like, I don't know, he just seemed like an unhinged kind of, how you, like in movies, you can really see, to me, even The Godfather, when you watched it, I felt that, oh God, I'm blanking on his name. Michael,
You're talking about Vito or
Michael? The old
Are you talking
Vito.
about Brando?
Thank you. Marlon Brando. He just had
Vito.
that, he's old. And even Joe Pesci does this in The Irishman. It's like these old characters that have this look about them that it's real danger. Like these people are very dangerous, but are just wasting away. Like he's so frail and he wears a gown and he's just, listen, I have, and he's just being walking, but it's just at the same time, I don't know. I don't know. It for some reason it worked for me. I loved it.
I had a different interpretation of his character, like based on how he acted. But that fit the story. Like as a character, like it didn't ruin the movie. His performance, right. It just felt like one of the weirder links. Yeah. But the way they presented him and the way he acted, still like it got the point that I was looking for, or that I interpreted, which was for me, he came off as a scared man with power who was scared of losing his power and therefore was easily manipulated into making actions if he thought it was, because the whole plot of the Reverend Mother tells him, we don't see this. I think you kind of had to figure it out from context clues, but the Reverend Mother is the one that told him that Leto was going to be a threat to him because he was getting popular with the other houses. He's a noble guy. He has he's basically like Ned Stark almost in Game of Thrones. Like he's the kind of guy that, he's the kind of leader guy that people can look up to and see as a leader. And she tells him, that's a threat. He's going to come for you, even though he had no intention to. So they are the reason that whole plan got set into motion with take the Harkonnens off and then give the Harkonnens an army to take him out later on, because when he doesn't fulfill his contract, because you're not going to leave enough, you're not going to leave enough machinery for him to be able to fulfill his first, shipment in time.
No, for sure.
So I kind of got this whole feeling from him is that like, I'm kind of just going along with what this magical lady is telling me, because I need to keep my power because I don't know what to do without it.
No, I totally see that.
I got from that.
No, that's fair. No, I totally get that. And especially the losing power part is really the big thing I would see with like him, like his character just being so, dangerous, but yet, like you said, he's
like a wild animal.
He's losing, he's losing everything.
Somebody, like they'll do terrible things, if they feel like their power is at stake.
Right. And then because I loved how
he considered Leto, I think in the books, I think he almost considered Leto like a son almost, if I remember correctly. But but he had a threat to his power. Can't have that.
No. I was going to say though, I also loved Gurney Like I was so happy to see
Yeah.
Gurney back. I mean, Josh Brolin's
Brolin.
awesome in that character.
And he played, playing the music stuff was fun. I like that because that was something
That was awesome. Yeah, it was so in his voice and everything was perfect. I loved those scenes. And then obviously I loved the payback, when he got to stick it to Raven one final time. I was hoping for a little bit bigger of a fight. Also, by the way, I saw that 2-pack at Target of them. You can get it at it's like a 2-pack of both of them. Yeah, and it looks really cool. I was, the only thing is I thought that fight would go longer, but at the same time it made sense because I'm like, you know what? At the end of the day, he's a little bitch boy.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's us on Dune. What would you recommend it, Ashley? I would recommend.
Yes, I loved it. It was a great movie. It was a great movie.
Cinematically, we didn't even talk about worm riding real quick though. What did y'all think about that? Because I thought that was absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, I think they took some shortcuts. I want to see him actually get on the worm, like stepping on it, or when they have like 50 people riding a worm. Like,
see, that's the thing is they're just so big though. But that's the thing; they're huge. That's what I like about it is like you really can't. It's hard to show scale because they are so big.
Well, no, I'm saying like it took him so long to get on the worm.
Because he had to,
and then the next thing you see,
run up that mountain. You're gonna get on the worm.
Riding this thing with a team on top and everything else. Like, okay.
roasting weenies. No, but I thought that was great. But Ray, didn't you say because Ray got to see it in the world's tallest IMAX?
Yeah, I saw it in the world's tallest IMAX in Pooler, and that was phenomenal. That was like the seats were vibrating during that sequence. That was like the sound was so powerful coming from it.
Oh, that's cool.
It was pretty phenomenal. But I kind of agree with you some about the I do kind of wonder how they they glossed over how they did certain things when you had the shot of Jessica in her little basket riding on top of one while they're going south. It's like, how to get her up there? Yeah, because Paul's getting on top of Shahid Halud was a very intense little moment. Like he had he pulled he put the thumper down, the thing jumped through the dune, and he had to basically ride a collapsing dune down onto the worm and then grab onto him. It's like, you ain't doing that with a basket lady.
No, right. You're not.
So I don't know, but maybe they'll explain somehow, like maybe they can make them stop or something, so they can, after they ride one, make it park for a minute, while they climb up with the basket lady.
Get on this parked worm.
Yeah,
yeah. All right, let's hit up the toy news.
Well, I was going to say, okay, yeah, go ahead. I was going to say I am excited about Ghostbusters next week. I have tickets to go see that, so I am. I'm going to go nuts.
Pish posh.
And also yes, Northern. I've seen the new Crow trailer. I think Ray, you've seen the new Crow trailer. I thought it looks all right. I mean, I'll tell you this much: it looks like it's going to be a hardcore movie. It looks like it's going to be pretty good. I'm sure some people will be angry about the character design. I mean, I'm not I'm kind of whatever about it, but I think it'll be all right. I'll probably catch the movie on.
I'll say one thing about the suit I didn't notice until I saw a video about it. So because somebody was doing, I think it was Jeremy Johns, I think was doing it. Because I saw it and I was like, well, let's see what he's saying about it. And he made a point. And I was like, I didn't see that. Now I can't unsee it. There's a shot of Eric Draven putting on his jacket. It's like, why does he have the weird, disturbing eye tattoo? It's like, no, not the giant eye in the chest corner. There's a little person's face right here, and then his nipple serves as the eye. It's very bizarre.
That's right. Yeah.
What? You can't unsee. I didn't hate it. I mean, I thought it looked pretty cool. It looked pretty brutal. For, like they're having fun with the idea of an unkillable protagonist. Where that big shot of him going up the staircase and just getting emptied full of bullets.
Yeah,
that was pretty cool, I thought. But my wife is very excited for it. She knows nothing about the Crow. I showed her the trailer. She's completely blind to the lore or anything about it. She just saw it. It's like, oh wow, that looks really interesting. Because that gothic angstiness, I think, hits that side of her. Is like, oh yeah, But
I'll tell you, man, the original movie though, it's hard to top. That's a good one.
You can't beat Brandon Lee.
I mean, you can.
Yeah, he's like, you could shoot him.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
What was in that cornbread you had?
Just a good. He said he's like just some good hate, some haterade. But hey, Ray, I appreciated that joke.
I'll
Listen,
take it back.
no, don't take it back. That was a good joke. I liked it.
No, it's
But-
forever. It's forever on the internet now.
I'm sorry. You can cut that after I said the joke. He's like, remember, he did say, "I am sorry."
No. I can't wait for you to run for office. We're going to bring this back up.
That's going to be a skeleton right there. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I made the joke about Brandon Lee's tragic death in the 90s.
You're sorry.
I'm sorry. I'm
So
going to be running in Michigan.
toy news.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. This was an old one. I don't know why you pulled this link up. I was just showing you the picture of this from the line that you were showing me about the Spider-Man Iron Spider.
Comparing apples to.
Oh yeah,
Well,
that's
no,
right. Yeah, the
Well, like
So this
for
is
some
the-
reason I could.
yeah. I was gonna
couldn't
say
find-
I actually wouldn't mind having this.
Yeah, for some reason I went on Hasbro Pulse and I really couldn't find this version of him. Like it just wasn't being. I wasn't seeing it anywhere. So I was wondering if Mandela effect was
Well,
happening.
I couldn't find the Spider-Man either.
Yeah,
Well, I was going to say the Spider-Man's not. He wasn't on Hasbro Pulse either.
Yeah.
Huh.
Anyways, yeah. So it's basically just the Mark 85, but without the Stark head or the damaged stuff, from the end of the movie when he does the snap. But so
Okay, I put another link in the in the private chat, so you can pull that up. And just for the record, I haven't seen the Crow trailer yet.
you haven't. It looks like a fun idea. Like some of the action sequences look interesting.
Yeah.
Like I said, because you know the lore of the Crow, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I was
on-
there.
on-
I saw the first one in the theater.
Yeah. So unkillable avatar of vengeance for tragic love, stuff like that. And so it looks like they're having some fun with what can happen. Like there is one cool shot toward the end of the trailer where he's like, there's this big shot of him going up a staircase and he's just getting like shot up with machine gun fire. And he's just like, he's just doing tiny little shots, but he's still going up the step one by one while they're just trying to fill him full of lead. Yeah, it's a pretty cool little shot. Yeah.
So scroll back up, and I guess we'll start with the JLA stuff. Not the Motu, but scroll down. There you go. Yep. There you go.
Last run. Oh yes, I did see that about Last Run and Casey Jones.
So yeah, this is the '90s nostalgia.
It is a cool little wave. I'll say like this is one of the waves that they've done recently where I'm like,
My only problem with it is the Green Lantern. I mean, that was not the Green Lantern in this.
I think it's
JLA.
because they've already done all the Kyles. I think they've done about every. I think short of doing Ion as an actual as a figure, they've done his classic '90s look already. So I don't think they could. There's not much else they can do with him. So they probably just.
They could just pick somebody else out that off the
Guy
team.
do a Guy Gardner.
Well, they could. I'm saying just pick somebody else off of that JLA.
Oh
team,
yeah.
Other than Green Lantern. I mean,
The Wild West Flash, yeah.
And they all build. If you collect all four of these figures, it
They built
builds
Plastic Man.
Yeah.
Plastic Man here.
And
I
of
think
course,
he comes with different heads, doesn't he?
I think he does.
I think he does one with the little elongated neck that's like doing a little loop-de-loop, and then I think one that's more normal.
And a couple of these come in platinum editions. I know Superman does, so I'm sure you'll get like the red version. And I can't remember what the other one is. Maybe Aquaman comes in platinum edition.
Yeah. I'm kind of tempted for that Superman. Like I said this to y'all earlier, just because that was one of the more very drastically different versions of Superman when they were like in that 90s post his death. DC was doing a lot of scrambling to try and figure out new exciting things to do with Superman to kind of try to keep him relevant, which is instead of just tell good Superman stories.
And that failed ultimately. I mean, he didn't last maybe a year, maybe.
I remember the biggest thing people started getting mad about after the change to the Electric Superman was like, and I remember as a kid I was thinking like, but that's not a terrible thing, but they're saying like he doesn't have his powers anymore when he becomes Clark Kent, when he goes into his Clark Kent form. Now, and all I could think to myself was, but doesn't that make it easier for him to hide his identity?
Yeah.
Like that's not the worst thing. I mean,
Yeah, I was
yeah,
gonna
it's
say-
probably bad if he gets shot, but
And
Well-
that's the end of Clark Kent.
but I imagine he could like maybe he could change in his electric form and it just the damage goes away immediately.
Yeah.
But he did have other weaknesses because I remember there's a JLA story where he kind of like got because he's made of electricity in that form, so he kind of like got zapped into a computer and like sent off through a satellite feed. And he had to come back at the last minute by saying like, "Oh, I bounced off a satellite near Jupiter."
Yeah, Northern Nomad. I don't know, man. I'm getting pretty excited about this James Gunn Superman movie. Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, I have faith in it. I just love James Gunn is a good dude. So
Yeah,
I have faith in him.
I'm curious to see how because he did say in a recent post that Peacemaker season 2, I think he's going to be filmed on the same timeline as Superman.
Yeah.
So, which is interesting. I'm interested to see how, because he said it is going to address the changes, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
But he said like apparently season 1 it isn't canon somehow, or have insinuated that. But I was going to say it's got to be canon in some form, like at least the events of it, because there's a personal arc. There's a personal arc that Christopher went through the storyline that has to be relevant to what's going forward. Especially the big thing at the end was him still seeing hallucinations of his father.
Yeah. And then somebody leaked pictures of the engineer online.
The
I can't
engineer.
remember.
Oh,
I can't remember.
from the
Atlanta.
Authority.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, go to Just Jared, his website,
Okay.
and you can find pictures.
Yeah, I was
of it.
going to say real quick, Ray. Remember there was the I think Comic-Con exclusive or something that came out of this.
Mhm.
This I guess finally is going to get a wide release, but you would call this the Scream 6 Ghostface.
Hmm.
Or am
Well,
I getting the numbers wrong? Which one's this one? 7, 6?
oh gosh, let me.
It's in New York, basically. I think.
Right?
Right?
No, well,
Or
I
is-
think no. I think this is actually supposed to be from the parody movie, like the movie within the movie from the Stab universe.
I gotcha. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
So, but that was seen in Scream 5, I believe, because there's a little off shot where Jack Quaid's character Richie is looking at Stab stuff videos on YouTube, and they look at like a few little clips of like the wildness of like where the Stab movies went, and one of them was like it doing the flamethrower with the metal mask. So I think it's supposed to be referring to that.
Gotcha.
Speaking of Scream,
am I
there was
looking
also
for?
big news about that. Like while you're looking that up, did either of you hear about this? I mean, Austin did, I think.
Nev Campbell.
Yeah, Nev Campbell's going to be back as
Yep.
Sydney because the problems that kind of happened after 6.
Yep. I heard. I read something online about that.
Well,
But now I haven't seen Scream. I think Scream 3 was the last one I saw.
Okay. Well, the other big news
I
is
see
going to
what
be
you're talking about.
Oh yeah, there you go.
the hair like is that's
Yeah.
that's the hair of what I remember of the character, right? That
Yep.
that's the hairstyle. I bet like there's going to be. I bet it's a thing she does because she is made of metal, isn't she?
Yeah,
So I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's gonna be probably like a thing that she can will in and out of. Like,
Oh
it'll
yeah,
be
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
CGI
sure
for
there's
her.
gonna be some CGI built into that.
But the design I see looks pretty good so far. Probably maybe it's some kind of a hologram or something thought to disguise herself when in public
Yeah,
to look more human.
Maria Gabriela de Faria.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
But-
kind of excited about this movie.
Because they're filming, I think, in Scandinavia right now.
No, this was in Atlanta.
Oh, that was in Atlanta. I want to say
Yeah.
because he's been making some posts from like somewhere like in like
Yeah, but I think
Norway's Svalbard or something like that.
I think they came back. I think
They're already
they
back.
wrapped up,
Okay,
yeah.
I guess they
They're
didn't
back.
stay there very. Okay.
It was only like a week or two that they were there.
Yeah, Fortune Solitude stuff most likely.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. That's what I'm thinking.
But yeah, so I'm looking forward to it still. Yeah, there's the obvious, lamenting of losing, Cavill a little bit. I think we lost Austin.
Yeah, I think Austin dropped.
Uh-oh.
He's like, I gotta go.
There he is.
There he is. And still muted. He's muted. Austin, you're muted. And he's
Yeah, I know. My
doing
internet's
the
acting stupid. Y'all can just disregard me.
No, I will not take that. I will.
Boop, boop, beep.
Northern Nomad, I will not take you disparaging Jamie Lee Curtis like that. I'm sorry about that. I will not. I will stand on the hill because I enjoyed the David Gordon Green Halloween trilogy. Just because it was a story. Just because it was a story that, I mean, if for no other reason that it did a Michael Myers story that wasn't made just simply to keep going, like it actually was made with an ending. So I did like that it was one that put all the toys back in the box. It was like, finally, just end the story, and then you can do your reboot or whatever in the future. It's like, I like someone.
Well, they're already doing a reboot. They're already doing a reboot.
Yeah, they're doing a reboot TV show, I think.
Yeah,
I heard, which is fine. You do that. It's like I'm glad that they just did a version where they could do some kind of definitive ending for the character in a way, just so you can see version of it instead of trying to make him almost like Jason, where he's almost like unkillable and zombies and stuff like that.
Yeah. Well,
anyways,
it looks like we lost Austin. He just said close it out without him. So I guess this is appropriate to close it out. We didn't get as much toy news as we wanted to, but hey, internet troubles. Yeah, just kidding, but it's just like,
yeah.
When does it end?
I mean, that's why I like the trilogy was, I mean, it's gonna be hard to kill a franchise that's making money. So that's why I'm glad that he stuck with his guns and was like, okay, we're gonna end this. We're not gonna set up sequel bait or anything like that. We're just gonna end. It's gonna end. But the studio can do what they want to do to figure out where to go from here. But I'm gonna make it so that they really don't have a choice with like continuing this story because it's done.
Yeah.
So,
alrighty. Well,
sorry about that rant.
Let's wrap it up. Thanks to everybody in the chat tonight.
Yeah,
had pretty good chat. Thanks for the turnout. That was awesome. All right. Anything you want to say before we head out?
Recommendations. I'll say it again. Try Halo Season 2. They're almost done. Next week's going to be their finale. I have thoroughly enjoyed Season 2. They're going to get to the Halo. They're there now. It's showing up in the show. That's why some people have not liked it. Is you're not really covering Halo, but it's having a lot. I've enjoyed it, but I'm not a Halo purist. So
me either.
Yeah,
me either. So I might try it. I will say for me, try My Adventures with Superman on HBO Max. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. A lot better than I thought it was going to be.
I've heard great things for it so far.
So yeah, try it out. It's actually really, really good. Really, really good.
Oh, also, Marvels. I watched that. Thoroughly surprised by it. I enjoyed it. Captain Marvel actually had a personality, and I loved that. So I'll say, like, even though it did terribly in theaters, it was not a terrible movie in my opinion. It had good parts to it. So give it a shot if you haven't watched it yet. Give it a chance.
It wasn't 100% awful.
No, it was like it had. I enjoyed it more than the first Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I might have liked the first one better, but yeah, I mean, it had some redeeming qualities. So
yeah,
it's not horrible.
If anything, Iman Vellani.
Yeah, she was the best part.
Perfection in it. Like, she was fantastic. I hope to see more and more Miss Marvel over the years.
Yep. All right, people. Thank you for watching.
Later days. See you next time.
Later.